back to the Fit for More channel. My name is Leah. If you don't know me, I am the owner of Fit for More store, an intentional stationary boutique with all things personal and spiritual development so that you can remove those limiting beliefs and create the life you desire and deserve. If you are not subscribed to this channel, I'm going to wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hope you did it, but if you were not subscribed, I hope you are subscribed now. Please don't forget to give any likes and comments down below. Really would love to know how much what I'm talking to you about is helping. Today, I'm actually going to move this camera just a little bit. So today I want to just talk to you about something that has come up in a topic this week, and it's really about how to stay motivated when things are not really going how you want them to go in life. So when things in life are not moving, you're putting in the work, you're doing all the things, what to do. I'm gonna first talk about what we always talk about, and that is law of attraction. And I'm really just going to hopefully talk about it in the most practical sense, in that we are always attracting something in our lives. And I've said this in several other videos before, but law of attraction, like we always even talk about in relationships, like, you know, like attract likes, or birds of a feather flock together, meaning that whatever it is, energy, thought, or whatever that you're putting out, you know what you're putting out because it comes back to you in representation of something in your life. I remember the time that I really disliked a job. Like I had a job and I really disliked this particular job. And I would dread going to this particular job every single day. But then when this job was doing layoffs, I was actually one of the people that had gotten laid off. Now, that was both good and bad. It was not good timing because I did not have any other income at the time. But at the same time, I really didn't want to go to that job. So it gave me just a little bit of relief to be able to say that I got laid off and I could go get another job because I was laid off, and not like I had to go to an interview and then say why I left that company. Like it gave me the out that I was pretty much looking for. So it's like I pretty much kind of created that situation because I didn't like it so much, and then boom, all of a sudden that I don't have it. It created a little bit of tension in my personal life because, again, I was not prepared to not have an income at that time. But at the same time, it gave me the opportunity to do something else over again with my life that I actually really wanted to do. And there's probably several scenarios which you could probably in your mind think of to where you thought something, whether it was good or bad, and you were able to either have the opportunity that you wanted or have the experience that you really didn't want, but you actually really did create, because that's where your focus and your thoughts was the majority of the time. So basically, it's if we are focused on lack of something, the scarcity of something, or continually frustrated about something, we're going to continue to attract more of those things into our life. I've seen it time and time again. And I personally try to give people some snooze time or high time, but where people are seemingly always talking about something that is not going their way, or they're saying things like, you know, if it's not one thing or another, and they're saying things like that, and then things continually are happening. But that is because words have power, and what you speak with such emotion and passion, and where your thoughts lie the majority of the time, you're going to attract more circumstances like that in your life. So that's why I always talk about focusing on gratitude, focusing on the abundance, focusing on positivity. Then you're going to be able to attract more of those things. Some things are super immediate, depending on how much energy, intention, and time and focus you put into it, and other things are not. And so really what happens is that people consciously will say like, well, I've been saying that this is what I want. Like, I want this new job, or, you know, I wouldn't necessarily think that, that I wanted to be struggling or anything like that. And here's the thing, you're probably not thinking that you're struggling, right? on purpose. But what you are thinking is, I wish there was more money. What you are doing is going to the store and complaining about a price. What you are doing is looking at a price tag and then getting a really emotional feeling about something. And it's typically a negative feeling. So if in fact you have bills coming in and you are worried about how you're going to pay the bill, mad about how much the bill is, mad about how much money you have to spend out, worried about how you're going to get more money to do other things, even though in your mind you're not focusing on the fact that you want to struggle, it is creating a snowball effect of things that would continue to bring you struggle, because the emotion about the lack of the finances is what's coming up most of the time. If you don't look at your bank account because you don't want to see how much is not in there, you have a strong emotional attachment to the lack of money. So the act of not looking at your bank account is an action, and a subconscious and a conscious action that ties directly to the fact that this is not something that I want to deal with. This is not something that I want to see, because that is the most dominant action. You're going to experience more circumstances that makes you not want to look at your bank account for fear of what's not there. If you have a business and you're consistently focusing on the fact that there are not sales being made, that you have bills to pay, but there's not enough sales coming into your business to make those sales, then what you're going to experience is more opportunities where there's not enough business coming in to be able to pay your bills. And so if in fact, though, you start focusing on everything that could be potentially positive to grow, then you will be able to turn those situations around. And again, sometimes it could be very immediate, and sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer, depending on where you are in your journey and how much growth needs to be had around those circumstances. So for another example, when the bills come in, I personally cannot take credit for this because it is something that I read in a book, but the lady suggested that when you have bills come in, you should literally start being grateful. Thank you for the money. But even before you're thankful for the money, you have to be thankful for the service that you receive. The bills that you have are nothing more than an indication of a service that you received. And most of the services that we receive are indeed, some of them are basic necessities. And so we can be grateful for these basic necessities, but a lot of them are not necessities, they're luxuries. And so we can be grateful for the service that we've received. We can be grateful for the experience that the service allowed us to receive. A lot of times, and even if I'm getting in the shower, I am just so thankful for a hot shower. I'm thankful that I'm able to get in the tub and just relax. I'm grateful for clean running water. Those are some things that people might tend to take for granted. But if you did not have clean running water, if you did not have hot water, if you were in a position and you could not take a shower, then water would become something that you're absolutely grateful for. But it is something that I choose to be grateful for right now, so that those things can always continue to happen for me. If in fact that you have a bill, whether it's your cable bill or your phone bill, be grateful that your phone bill allowed you to be able to stay in contact with people that you love or care about, or maybe call and get something taken care of that would otherwise wreak havoc in your life if you were not able to call and speak to someone about whatever it is you needed, right? So if it's a credit card, be grateful that it allowed you to pay for something at a time when you wanted to save your cash and preserve your cash flow. So whatever it is, we have to look at the opportunities of how can I be grateful for these things instead of being upset that someone is sending me a bill for actually something that I absolutely used. Be grateful that you have the money to pay for that bill. So thank you for the money, for all the bills that you have. Thank you for the money. And then once you pay the bill, thank you. That bill is paid, right? And so if you are aware of those moments in which you can express more gratitude, see things in a positive light, call in more abundance to you. You'll begin to experience scenarios where abundance is given to you and more often. Basically, what I'm saying is if you're feeling discouraged about the lack of results in your life, this is actually a learning opportunity of that it is time for you to start shifting your focus. And instead of dwelling on what's not working, now you can dwell on what do I want to create, right? So visualize the goals that you want, visualize yourself achieving them, feel the emotions of what it would feel like if you actually desired it. And then that'll lead you into taking inspired action towards your vision. I do remember like one particular time when I wanted to get another degree so bad. Like the job that I was at, I didn't love that job, but I had learned from the previous situation is that if I keep expressing how I don't like this job, I'm probably going to end up with no job and it's not going to be super timely. So instead, I kept saying, I am grateful for this particular job that I have. I am grateful for the opportunity to come in and make a difference in this particular organization, but I also know that it is time for me to move on. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to prepare myself in advance to be able to lead this organization, right? And so I visualized like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait until I graduate. And I just kept saying, and I kept seeing myself like graduating across the stage. And then of course, one day it absolutely happened. Number 2, I want to talk about something that's super important. A lot of people don't really touch on, and that is you have to consider your identity, right? And so you are the person that is attracting these circumstances to you. So if you are a person who is currently having struggles with whether it's more money or more time or success, then you're going to continue those struggles until you identify within yourself what are those blocks that are holding you back from getting it. If you're saying it struggles with more money, are you being a steward, a good steward towards your money? Are you taking the action to preserve income? Are you taking the actions to create more income? Are you taking the actions to save? Are you taking the actions to invest, right? If you're a person who is struggling with time, are you being mindful of the time you have? Are you getting up earlier? Are you staying up later? Are you using your time in the most efficient way possible? If you are struggling with success, are you the person who is reading more books to align with what you're trying to have success in? Are you putting yourself in the room of the people who have the experience you have? Are you being coachable? So what are you doing and who are you working on becoming a better version of yourself so that you can be able to attract more quality and fruitful experiences in what it is that you're desiring to have? So basically change yourself and be the person that you want to be. And I said this in a video before, and it's basically like, if I am a person who wants to be in the best shape of my life, what would the person who was already in the best shape of their life be? Would that person be sitting on the couch determining if they feel like working out today? Would that person be choosing to skip breakfast but have donuts or chips instead? Would that person be making those choices? Or would a person who's probably in the best shape of their life already have a plan to go to the gym? Would they already be getting to bed on time? Would they already have their gym bag packed and in the car? Like, they would not have issues with these things. So it might mean that you have to come to terms with yourself about the choices that you're not making and turn it around and make them. It might mean that you need to take different actions. You need to adopt and develop new habits. It means that you have to embody a new desired identity other than the person that you are now, because the person that you are now has gotten you to where you are now. But the person who you are now cannot get you to where you want to go. So you indeed have to become the person who has the goals that you want. So I said this before too. My mom used to always tell me a long time ago, dress for the job that you want to have. And I take that literally and I take that figuratively. Be the person who has what you want. So if there's a person with more success, what is a person who is more successful doing? They're probably feeding personal development to themselves. They're probably getting up and actually writing out a full plan. They're probably writing out what their actions were and what the results were for those actions. They're not guessing. They're not making haphazard choices. They're not spraying and an action and then praying that something is going to work. They're actually taking very much intentional action. So you have to be the person that you want to become to attract the results that you would like. Then finally, it's time to take inspired action. Now, this is one that a lot of people don't really get. And inspired action is something that feels aligned. It feels energizing. It feels like it has meaning and purpose. If you're taking action, but it feels forced, if you're taking action, but it's draining you, if you're taking action, but it is stressing you out, it's not aligned and inspired. Inspired action feels good. And sometimes inspired action is doing nothing. Inspired action sometimes is mean taking the thoughts to refocus and reground yourself. And so you have to think about that. Are you doing busy work that seems daunting? Are you doing it because you think it has to be done? Or was it inspired? Inspired is going to be like, oh my gosh, this great light bulb moment, this really good idea. And it's going to move you forward. It's not going to feel like you've done a bunch of things and you're not getting results. If you feel like you're doing a bunch of things and not getting results, it most likely is not inspired action, and it's probably not aligned towards your big goals. So to sum it up, if at all you are feeling very discouraged from the lack of results in your life, one, it's just a moment to take a step back and relook at everything, refocus on what it is that you want to create. Then you have to change your identity, like who you are. Change your identity within yourself to be able to align with your desired outcome and then take those inspired goals. So with these, I hope that helped you. I am 1000% positive that these tools can help you stay motivated to attract the results you want. I am also going to link a couple of videos below, and those are like the meditation videos that's going to help you align your mind with the success that you want to have. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to give me a comment, subscribe. If you've already watched this far, you should be subscribed by now. But also don't forget to share this channel and come back for more tips on mindset, personal development, and for living your best life. Now, have a good day. I'm out.